Have you experienced the awesome power of the Panasonic Real 3DO system? Obviously.
Presenting 3DO, the most advanced home gaming system in the universe. It's time to put away your toys.
3DO from Panasonic, Gold Star, and Creative Labs. A new low price and free games.
Mind-blowing graphics of Panasonic Real 3DO.
3DO.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the 3DO Experience, the 3DO retrospective podcast where we talk about all things 3DO, the company, the console, and everything in between. I am Bill, and this is Threk. How you doing, Threk?
Bill, I was on the verge of death, sinus death, I believe is what I was given, but I am here on all kinds of medication and medicated nasal spray. What the fuck's going on? But I'm here somehow. How are you?
I'm good. I got buried under like 2 feet of snow yesterday. Yeah, that was great. I'm great
like
otherwise.
I feel like I'm buried under snow. Like it feels like it's like just cotton's just stuck in there, and I can't get it out.
My work actually canceled yesterday. Like, this is the second time in like 7 years they've canceled a shift.
Yeah, because we had that first snowfall a couple weeks ago. It hit me as well as you, and I had to do those remote days. And you're like, man, they actually shut down work. You said the next day they were pissed.
Yeah, they were, because they were like, we had to shut down work for a day. Like, God forbid.
Though they've already done it once, so now they've done it a second time. It doesn't hurt as bad. They're like, hey, we've already. Once the toothpaste is out of the tube, it's like, who cares at that point?
Well, the first time they waited till literally like the last minute. Like, they were first like, all right, work is delayed until like 6, and then like 12, and then like 1. I'm like, that's like 1 hour of work, guys. And then like by
Could
that
you come
point,
in for 2 hours, please?
like, and then by that point, half my shift had already called in, and so they were coming in. So, but once like 7 people called out, I was like, all right, I'm just using a sick day. I'm not even coming in for this.
That's so funny.
And then they canceled like an hour later. And I was just like, all right. This time though, they canceled like right away, to the point where they sent the text, and they've never done this before. So I was immediately checking to see if it was a scam number. And apparently 3 of my coworkers thought the same thing, because they were all messaging me about it.
That's funny.
That's how much my company does not want to ever cancel.
That is that's crazy, man. That is crazy.
To make goddamn golf balls.
Well, speaking of golf balls, we have 2 guests with us today.
Nice.
Thanks. Yes. We have Goo. I'm just gonna call you Goo because that's what you are on Discord. And
That's perfect.
And McKenna from Flashback. Hi, how you doing?
Good.
Hello.
I feel like as close to full health as I can, not to brag, but no snow.
That's fine.
We were both sick last month.
Yeah, I was sick 2 months in a row. Like, I just
Oof.
like for a couple days had a cold, like enough to where I had to call off work. And like, I usually, once a year something, but twice, 2 months in a row. That was too much.
Like, I've been fighting something like this since like the end of December. But like when I was literally throwing up like globs of mucus, I was like, okay, I need to go to the doctor. What the fuck's going on here? So I let it build up to that. So
I'm glad you made it to this podcast.
Yeah, I'm here. Yes.
See, I have
for the real
luck.
what I was brought on this earth to do: yell into the void.
I only ever get sick either when I take vacation or like in the middle of summer. Never any other time of the year.
I'll get sick in the middle of summer, but it'll be for an entirely different reason.
It'll be like 90 degrees out, and I'll have the fucking like cold. I'll be like, how? Like just how?
You know what I do sometimes is I've gotten sick on like a Friday, and I'll call off work, and I'll like continue to be sick, and I'll be like, well, at least this in my head, I'm like, at least it's the weekend. It's like I don't have to call off work. But it's like, no, that's worse. It's the weekend. Yep. I should want to be sick during the week. What's wrong with me?
Oh yeah, this last weekend I was just miserable the whole time. It sucked. Lost it. But oh well.
See, sometimes I'm like happy I have a good immune system, but at the same time, like it only ever hits me at the worst times. It's bizarre.
Very bizarre. But speaking of bizarre, the game we're covering today is Lemmings. But before we get to that, we do have some news. Quite a bit of news.
Well, we forgot to do our little question first.
Oh, right. This is how fucked up I am. Sorry. So, fellow Flashbackians, I'm going to call you that. Do you have any prior experience with the 3DO before this podcast?
I'll let you go first.
No.
Okay.
I do not.
Did you know what it was?
Not really. I mean, heard it mentioned.
Okay, so when I was like, our pal Thrak has a 3DO podcast, that made sense as a sentence to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll accept that.
I was familiar, and I thought that I had played it when I was younger. Like, I thought I knew it, I had a kid. Like, that name sounded familiar, and then like when I found out about the podcast, like years ago at this point, I was like listening to it, and I was like looking at like what it actually is, and I was like, I don't remember this at all. So it was probably just like I connected something else in my brain where I thought this was something else or something. But no, I've never like had any actual experience with the 3DO, and I only recently just like settled that it wasn't like one console. Like the fact that it was like people could get the rights to make it and stuff, like that was all new. That was new to me. So yeah, this show has really been very educational for me to like learn more about this.
And the best part is, you guys are like not the only one who's ever answered that. Most people, when we ask, it's the same answer. We have our one recurring guest that grew up with the 3DO. He's kind of like our go-to guy, but for the most part, most people have never heard of it or vaguely.
Yeah, you'll get the occasional like, I saw one once, or I was aware of it back then. And then
how about
you're looking to get that?
I don't know if this is offensive, but like I've played the CDI like a lot.
Yeah.
Is that offensive to compare them? I don't know, but I have actually. In my head, they're like of a similar background, even though they're different. I don't know.
I mean, I see why, because they're both attached to companies that weren't really known for video games back then or even now. So
the only difference is the 3DO was designed as a gaming platform at first. The CDI was more of an entertainment thing that could play games.
Yeah.
A multimedia station.
Yeah, I've seen, after listening to your show, I've seen other things that say like that have lumped it in unfairly, where they like, I've seen people associate like the FMV games exclusive, like that's a thing like that this console does exclusively. But then listening to your show, there's actually like a lot of other interesting games like made for it, and it's not just that. I feel like that's kind of like a thing I hear floating around that's not totally true.
See, the majority of people who talk about the 3D online have never actually played one, or they've seen like one review online that just kind of talked about FMV games or Plumbers Don't Wear Ties or something like that.
Yeah. Like the console's kind of known for being like a failure in the early mid 90s, and it's like, what else was a failure back then? Oh, games with real people in them. So they just kind of lump them together, like almost as like an extension of like the Sega CD or even the CDI, even though I think the CDI more gets that like Nintendo bump. Because it's like, this thing has Zelda games on it. What the hell?
We've both spent plenty of time with that because we're in the Zelda community as well. And that's like, we love those. Well, I love those games. I'm pretty sure you have a fondness for them too. But that's a whole other story.
I love the cutscenes.
I would say, speaking of the CDI Zelda games, have you ever played this game called Arzette, the Jewel of Faramore?
We did. We actually a few years ago played that through together, and loved it. Loved
that
it.
game is
very charming.
Fantastic. I know how accurately they replicate the Zelda CDI games. Honestly, like freaked me out. I was like, why is it this accurate? It's ridiculous. So, but it's a fun game.
For like the first time at a convention recently, and it was like, it's so weird seeing like copies of like Hotel Mario and like the two side scrollers. I've never seen a copy of Zelda's Adventure in person before, but
that's the expensive one, I think.
It's the expensive one. It's the worst of the three.
I've played that one as well, and it's like horrifying. Like the other ones, like with friends, it's one of those things where like you can like have fun just kind of laughing at it and everything. But that
reciting the cutscenes because everyone's seen them at this point.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, meme heaven right there. So. But before we get into the proper game, we got to talk about the news. Some stuff happened, so we'll cover it. Of course, I'll try my best. So first we'll talk about Sony because it happened first. Out of the blue, they decided to close Blue Point. See what I did there?
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So they acquired them in 2021, and this was after they did the Demon Souls remake in 2020. So they had them for 5 years, and all we know they were working on was a God of War live service game, which I don't know who asked for that. Rim Giant or something. And then that falls by the wayside, and then I guess they're trying to pitch that. Nobody really knows what happened here. Like, why would you shut these people down, especially after they announced that God of War trilogy remake? And everyone's like, oh, that's what Blue Point's doing because we've been waiting. Nope, they ain't doing anything. They're on the unemployment train now, which every time I keep seeing like these studios getting shut down and people getting laid off in the industry, there has to be this giant pool of talent in the video game industry that's just not doing anything. Because if everybody's getting laid off, it's like, what the fuck are they doing? You know what I mean? Like, are they just...
Part of me wonders if they're like siphoning off the talent to other studios and then just closing the main.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I didn't look too deep into where the people are. I mean, it'd be nice if they, moved them around, but I don't know. But it was a very weird thing. Everyone's like, Sony, why? And that's really all we have is why.
Sony's been weird with closing developers. Like, they closed Japan Studio. That one I still found bizarre.
Oh yeah,
Blue Point's gone now. But then like you'll get like Sony, like Bend Studio. Like they've owned Bend for so long, and Bend amazes. I think that's their oldest studio at this point, besides like Polyphony. And they've somehow survived, even though like nobody knows that they exist.
Well, I mean, Bend did what was it, Days Gone?
Days Gone was the last thing they did, and that game was polarizing, to say the least. I like it, but I know a lot of people don't. I feel like if they shut down Bend, people wouldn't be as upset. They'd still be upset, but they'd just be like, what did they do? Days Gone? Who gives a fuck, right? And just move on with their lives. I love Siphon Filter.
Sony hasn't given a fuck about Siphon Filter in like 15 years.
I'm aware. That cliffhanger still bothers me.
But do you guys have any thoughts on Blue Point?
I mean, this is why we don't often talk about current news on our show, thankfully, because it's not in it's just out of our purview. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it's because I pity our like your show that there's always news of like all these closures and layoffs and stuff like that, and I feel like it's such an endless bummer that at this point I don't know what to say. Like, it feels like I've seen a lot of people post about like how for a lot of people they're like it's effectively the end of like their time in the game industry. Like, all these jobs are like evaporating, and like you said, like where are they going? What's going on? Like, don't people like, I think people still want to like play video games. I know, like,
oh yeah,
it's hard right now. Like, a lot of people are having a hard time probably buying as much games and stuff as they want, but it feels like it feels like we're like they're treating it like there's no demand for any games, even with some of these classic studios that have made some of these famous franchises. So I don't know what to say. It's like, it's really insane.
I think we're still in the fallout of the COVID growth. Like in 2020 where everything was expanding because everyone was playing video games, and it's like we're 6 years out of that roughly, and these companies, for some reason, they thought that growth would be sustainable, and it wasn't. I don't know who told them that. And then we're, I guess, still feeling the effects of it. Because if Sony bought Blue Point in 2021, that could have been during the COVID expansion where they're like, okay, and then things are kind of shrinking back down. And it feels like that, plus with all the AI bullshit, is just causing these companies to shrink as much as they can. Anything to make the green line go up, because even in their little presser for closing Blue Point, they were saying like, we're still committed to making like good quality games and treating our legacy IPs with respect or whatever. And everyone's like, then why the fuck did you shut down Blue Point? Like that's why they were there.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
Man.
I love the phrase "treating our legacy IPs with respect." You mean the ones you've been ignoring for like 3 decades?
I'm just paraphrasing. It's not a direct quote or anything like that, but it was something along the lines of you read it and you're like, it doesn't explain why you're closing Blue Point, other than you just want to make number bigger.
Yeah.
I wonder if you're probably right about it's just the post-COVID growth and then shrinking of that, but part of me wonders if like a lot of these are doing it because they are putting stock in the fact that they think like they're just going to be able to keep doing this with AI or something like that. And is it going to be a rude awakening when they realize like that's not going to work?
Honestly, I feel like the way everything's going with AI, if anything would cause another video game crash, it could be like AI bubble bursting. Yeah. And all these companies being like, oh, fuck, like this isn't going to save us. And it's like, yeah, no shit. We all fucking told you that, but you wouldn't believe us.
Well, the difference too with this is like, unlike a lot of things I've seen where people tend to get over it really fast, people aren't getting over AI. Like that's the one thing people are pushing back.
Because it keeps getting like shoved down our throats as the future. And we're all like, no, it's not.
And like, it's not good. Like it's
like again, there are things like machine learning and things could be actually beneficial for. But the benefits are not in replacing like jobs for creative people.
Yeah,
what I mean? That's not it.
It's also affecting like the gamers in a way of just like making things expensive too. So like I've seen I've gotten recommended like YouTube shorts that I could only recommend describe as like embarrassing and cringe, like gamer quote unquote content. But even in this content, the people are complaining about AI and RAM prices and the cost of everything. And I'm like, okay, you've lost the like cringe gamers. It's over, Yeah,
exactly. So, but speaking of AI, Microsoft saw that Sony stuff and they're like, we'll one up you. A huge shakeup at Xbox. Phil Spencer is retired effective February 23rd. The company announced that on a Friday. They're like, he's gone. Clear the desk out. I don't think he retired. And also his heir apparent, the president of Xbox, Sarah Bond, also resigned from her role, like very suddenly, which may be that Microsoft didn't want to bring her in. And instead, Spencer is going to be replaced by Asha Sharma. I hope I'm saying that right. She joined Microsoft in 2024 as president of its core AI project, which she describes as leading the product portfolio for AI models, apps, agents, and all that bullshit. So basically, Xbox looked at what they had and were like, okay, Phil, get the fuck out of here. We need somebody fresh in here to try to clean it up. Let's bring in the AI lady. Maybe that'll fix it. And I'm two minds of this. Maybe it's just me being the Xbox guy. But like on the one hand, I feel like my voice is getting worse. On the one hand, I see the potential benefit of bringing in somebody like an outside voice into something to shake it up, to maybe like things are stagnant, things aren't going the way we need them to go. Let's bring in a fresh idea and see what they can do, right? I mean, think about it. Like Peter Moore was not a video game guy. And he was the head of Xbox during the 360 era where they were doing very well, So maybe, right? But everybody's like, oh, but they're like, oh, she's just gonna like AI slop Xbox and kill it. Maybe. I don't know. It doesn't bode a lot of confidence in me as somebody who mainly plays on Xbox. But who knows? Maybe she's going in there with actual good intentions and like actually wants to try to improve things, because it's like things have been rough for a while, you know. And I don't know if I would completely blame Phil Spencer for that.
No, he got scapegoated more than anything.
Yeah, but I mean, you can tell he'd been there since like 2013 as the head, and you know there were clearly things that weren't working.
They brought him in right after the Xbox One debacle.
Yeah, so I mean, but he did a lot to improve their reputation during the One era as well,
by basically reversing everything and going
pretty much
people wanted.
So yeah, and then also in this whole thing, apparently it was Sarah Bond's idea to do the whole "this is an Xbox" thing, which was basically diluting the entire like identity of the hardware entirely. So who knows? Maybe they refocus the hardware idea and try to be competitive again. Again, I don't know what they're going to do. You know, as long as they don't completely dismantle it and sell it for scrap parts, I'll probably be okay. But I don't know. I'm not going to put too much stock in it one way or the other. I'm just going to see what happens. You know, view me as, you know, in Titanic, when those guys are playing the violin as the ship is sinking. I'm like, you know what? I'm here. I just want to see what happens. You know, like if this is like, if the death of Xbox is sooner than we realize, it's like, might be a part of history and be one of the last people here. You know, it's like how I would have. Yeah. I mean, hell, I would have ride or died with the Dreamcast if I was aware of it back then.
Yeah.
Any thoughts while I drink some water?
I don't have high hopes,
but as a Sony guy, I'm kind of just gonna watch and be like, I hope they don't die because we need competition, but at the same time, I don't know.
And you're talking to we're the Nintendo kids over here, so you know,
Nintendo ain't going anywhere.
We're tired of getting bullied by. No, I'm just kidding.
You guys have been kicking ass for like a decade now.
I mean, they're clearly strutting their stuff these days.
Like Sony only like won the PS4 era by default because Xbox and the Wii U.
It was literally that one video at E3 where they're like, "This is how you share a game."
Yeah, that
was it. Done deal. I mean, I could get my conspiracy hat and say people kind of wanted Microsoft to fail then, but I'm not going to get into that. We don't have time for that. So
I'm not hopeful that the AI person is going to right the ship, because I feel like Microsoft riding the AI train has been
not good.
Not the worst. Actually, I feel like there's worse. Well, it involves AI. But yeah, they've been doing a lot of pretty bad things. And I feel like that is just, in my mind, I don't know much about this person, but it's kind of exemplary of, I guess, where they've been going. But I also feel like to whoever could have been in that role, it feels like they're more just there to be the person to be like the sin eater of whatever
the messenger
Microsoft is doing, you know.
Yeah.
So
it's possible. I mean, she has said that she doesn't want to fill it with a bunch of soulless like AI crap. She doesn't want to do that. You know, again, it's like she has a whole thing where she's like, I'm not going to do that. I actually like care about the brand and want to do something with it. And it's like, yeah, I mean, hell, take her for a word, because then if she lies, it's on her. It's not on you. You know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Take people at their word, because then if they fuck up, it doesn't say anything about you. It's like, I trusted you and you failed me. The $1 billion corporation failed me.
I've got not a lot riding on it either way, other than the fact that it, in the grand scheme of things, it sucks to see the game industry just kind of unraveling.
Yeah.
And so more stuff like that, you know, whole gaming divisions shuttering and stuff is not something I would look forward to.
I just sit here and still laugh at the irony of, like, a couple years ago, Sony tries to close the PS3 store and everybody bullies them into leaving it up, and it's still up to this day, but people still think Sony's the evil company.
They're all evil, though.
No, they're all evil. I just laugh. That moment still makes me laugh, how like Sony is like the easiest one to make them just like fold like in like seconds. Because we'll always remember Nintendo when they tried to close. Well, when they did close the 3DS store. When they 3DS store, and everyone complained, Nintendo's literal response was basically eat shit. So
they put their fingers in their ears and went la 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 la.
Yeah, pretty much.
Know, that Microsoft story took the heat off Nintendo because of the Pokemon stuff. Everyone was.
I was gonna bring that up as well.
Just a little bit for everyone, yeah.
Oh yeah, the Gen 3, which that wasn't even a controversy to me. That was just business as usual.
Yeah,
I was like, that's Nintendo.
I think what surprised me was it just kind of appeared out of the blue, which was I just happened to see it was in like Discord or something.
Oh yeah, there's
and somebody and they were just like, oh, Fire Red and Leaf Green are on the eShop for $20. And it was like, oh well, look at that. I think the weird part was like there wasn't a multi-language option. Like if you wanted to play the game in a specific language, you had to buy that specific version. And I'm like, come on. I'm like, guys, come on. Are you that fucking lazy, Nintendo? Just whatever, right? Whatever.
No, right. They just put
Yeah. It's $20 on there for each game, of course. And I think what surprised me more about it wasn't that they did it that way, is that it took them so fucking long.
I'm amazed they haven't put every Pokemon game on the store at this point.
I mean, they'll probably get like the millions of sales out of this. They probably already have. And they'll be like, okay, maybe we'll throw on like yellow. Here you go. $20 for yellow. It's like, what?
Maybe it's sort of a like break glass type thing where like they're seeing like what's going on with the game industry or whatever. And they're like, all right, like let's start a slow release of all the old games. Like we'll do one a year, and like that'll help us get through this.
Because these stupid fucking Pokemon fans will just eat whatever slop is given to them at whatever price because they don't care. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to offend any Pokemon fans. I'm not.
This is McKenna's territory, actually.
I mean, I'm a Pokemon. Well, I'm a reluctant Pokemon.
I'm not a Pokemon fan.
I've just been kind of depressed ever since X and Y was the last one I liked at launch. Maybe I don't remember.
I think it's just my issue has been like I've seen the quality the games have like been going down to, and the fact that like I ask people about it who I know are Pokemon fans. I'm like, why do you put up with this crap? Like it's clearly bad, and they're just like, oh, but it's Pokemon. I'm like, guys, come on, have a little respect for yourselves, please. I say as a Sonic fan, but like, have a little respect for yourself.
Well, I mean, I always say like I'll be the guy who'll be talking crap about
at least Sega will listen sometimes.
See, I'm the guy who will be in line talking crap about Game Freak and Pokemon as I'm buying both copies of Scarlet and Violet.
But that's the thing, I like Game Freak. I love them. They're a great dev. I've been playing Drill Dozer, banger of a game. So good.
Oh, I never. What do you think about these releases? I never even. We just kind of like laughed about it. So
yeah, I mean, I was glad that they're releasing them, but just $20 each is way too much. I thought they'd release something on NSO or like I don't know if. Compatibility wise, the only thing I was like, maybe something compatibility wise, they wanted to release them on the eShop, but it shouldn't have been $20.
I legit just think it's like they don't want you because if it has home connectivity, they don't want you to go like, oh, I found the shiny Ponyta. Now I'm gonna rewind and fill up my box with it. But
yeah, I think it's the home compatibility is why it's not on the eShop, or why it's not on the NSO. I think is why. But also, it's like they know they'll just pay $20 for it.
Yeah,
like well, McKenna, what do you think the price should have been?
I don't know. I might have paid. I mean, I think it should have been free, but I might have paid like $5. I'm not going to pay $20.
If it was $5, I would have bought it.
Yeah.
Because actually, I do want to play Fire Red. I did grow up playing Pokemon Red, so I have some Pokemon experience, and I'm like. Maybe I should play Fire Red, but not for $20 on my Switch.
I'm just gonna emulate that.
Honestly, at that point,
I still have my cartridges. I'll just use those.
Sitting on a gold mine. I think I have Sapphire over there.
I bought them when they weren't freaking $5,000. Thank you.
When they were $100.
Goo just played my copy of Ruby.
I did. Yeah, I felt so fancy playing this because I was like, oh boy. I feel the money in my hands.
I still The face I get when I tell people I got my copy of Platinum at a GameStop for $5 in the bargain bin. So
Wow. Yeah, different time.
in the day when
different
GameStop
time.
threw games away.
I genuinely think like if it is like the excuse where I was like giving them some of the benefit of the doubt that they like just really think it's like core that you can't rewind or save state because they want to maintain, you know, not being able to like fake it, load up your home as best as they can. They should have. This is why I don't think this is really that. But what they should have done, if that was the case, was to say, hey, if you have whatever this expansion pack or whatever you have to play the GBA games on Nintendo Classics, to just make it a free download if you have that service, you know, if you've paid into it, like even if they wanted to make $20 on it, like 4 months or so, I guess they'd have to make it right away.
Honestly, that's not a bad idea. Being like, if you're an NSO expansion subscriber, you can, you know, get these games as like add-ons for free.
Yeah.
And honestly, I would have went for that. I would have popped it on and messed around with it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So.
Honestly, my thoughts are they're doing this because they know they can get away with it. But
that's
my
inner. Yeah, it's Pokemon. They can get away with whatever.
That's my inner pessimist. But I'm just kind of sitting there like, this is Nintendo. They know that these will sell like immediately. They're doing it because they can.
Honestly, it was the reception to Scarlet and Violet that broke me.
Oh, at the games they released broken.
About how broken those games were and how like I knew people who were defending it as if it was fine. And I'm like, these clearly don't work. I don't understand, guys. Like if it was any other series, any other game, wouldn't have been accepted. You know?
Well, yeah, like Todd Howard gets like crucified for releasing a Fallout game that's not functioning, and then Pokemon does it, and everyone's like, it's okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. It is what it is, though. So you guys have your fun. All right. Speaking of fun, so apparently, Radical Entertainment is back. Apparently, it's a company called New Radical Games. Describes itself as Radical Entertainment plus Hothead Games. Is a new company that is a successor to both defunct studios. So, for those who don't know, Radical Entertainment was founded in '91 by in Vancouver, was acquired by Vivendi in 2005, Activision in 2008, and then they closed in 2013. Most known for making games like Simpsons Hit and Run, the Prototype series, Incredible Hulk, Ultimate Destruction, and Crash Tag Team Racing. And I guess Hothead Games was a Vancouver-based studio making titles like Penny Arcade Adventures and Death Spank, before moving on to mobile games. And then
what was that last game?
Death Spank. I'm dying.
Is that one of those?
My throat sounds like a death spank.
Is that one of those weird 3DO games we were talking about before?
I wish it was. But anyways, that's being founded by one of the co-founders of Radical Entertainment.
Ian that was a dangerous Google search. Jesus Christ. Oh, jeez.
Immediately regretted it.
Wow. I can't believe you.
Didn't even think about it. It's like,
Incognito tab. Ian Wilkinson, who was one of the founders of Radical Entertainment's the CEO and president, and then Tom Besson, who was a studio director at Capcom Vancouver, will be now their COO. They describe themselves as just like they're open for hire for like, we'll make console games, mobile games, we'll co-develop, we'll even port or remaster old titles. So they're just like, give us fucking work, please. We'll do anything. Sorry. And so people are like, oh, does that mean they're going to remaster Simpsons Hit and Run or Prototype? Maybe. Who knows?
Simpsons Hit and Run, I doubt it. Prototype, maybe.
Yeah, because Hit and Run is stuck in like publishing hell, because it's like Vivendi, Universal, Activision, Disney, Microsoft are all involved in some weird fucking way with this game. It's a mess, so that's probably why it'll never happen. Prototype, I've been hearing rumors of a Prototype remaster for a while now. Though I can't imagine it's them doing it. It'd probably be somebody else.
Yeah.
But maybe. I just saw this and thought, why not? Maybe we'll get something neat out of it. Because I liked Radical when they were around.
I mean, a new studio could potentially be a good thing, or they're a publisher.
It says they're a developer. Work for hire.
Oh, okay. Well, look, with everything going on, even if they don't get any, even if it's just like new stuff, it's probably good, most likely.
Yeah. Maybe they'll hire all the Blue Point people who got fired.
Yeah.
And that's all the news I had.
Yep, we did get Nintendo Music. We actually got good stuff this week.
Yes, we did. We got like what 2-3 games, depending on who you ask.
Well, we got Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. So that's fun.
They got that for free, right? Well, not really. But...
Well,
no, not even that.
You need to be an NSO subscriber to have access to the app.
Yeah, to get them. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we also got Super Mario Land 2, the 6 golden coins.
That's a good soundtrack. Not as good as Mario Land 1, but...
No, Mario Land 1 is
good.
the better soundtrack, but Mario Land 2 is the better game.
Yeah.
I don't use Nintendo Music as much as I should. Having the Nintendo podcast, I usually don't. Yeah, I just usually pull it up on something else. But
see, we have this segment just because we just find it really funny to make fun of this app and how stupid they've handled it since it was released.
Yeah, wasn't it 1 week? It's like, oh, here's the Wii Play soundtrack. Like, oh, okay.
Well, that was
my favorite was the week when they just put up all of those NES games that have like just bleeps and bloops that aren't even soundtracks. It's like that.
Oh, it was all the black box NES games. Like every single one of them. It was like their complete soundtrack. And like golf, it was like
yeah, I remember we did an episode where we went through those games and I was like, oh, I'll use like all the games have a delightful little jingle for like just the intro, and that's usually the only music in those. But golf was one I remember where I was like, there's no music. Like, what do I do? So I just put in like, yep, you get it. It's golf.
Oh man.
Hold on.
See, it's not like every game.
I gotta find them. Hold on.
It's not like every NES game where we get like Pictionary on NES, where it's just like, it's like, why did he go so hard?
Why does it go so hard?
It's because it's Tim Follen. He doesn't compose 4 games. He just composes music.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, that's the good stuff. Oh, that you can tell that one's a little higher. Oh.
That's so worth the subscription.
It's like,
why can't I extend this for an hour? God damn it!
God.
I'm dying. Shit.
I'm happy about Pokemon though. I wish they would do more of those soundtracks.
Oh, The Pokemon games have good music. I can admit.
I'm just like sitting there like, when will they put the goddamn Earthbound soundtrack up? Like that one's just like sitting in limbo.
Yeah, like that's the one I want because Earthbound's that's like top 3 Nintendo soundtracks of all time. Controversial? I don't know. I love that. I love that damn soundtrack. It's so good.
Yeah, it's really good. That's crazy.
Why does the song for when you're just entering in your characters' names go so fucking hard? Like, why?
Because it's the Earthbound soundtrack.
It's so good.
It's the weirdest but most awesome soundtrack ever.
Just like the game.
Yeah, everything about that game's weird. But
yeah,
it feels like just with everything they want there to be like some, not even constant, but like they want to keep having like just that sort of like everyone's engaged with this soundtrack or this Nintendo Classics game at once, and it just spread it out just enough where we can kind of keep giving that little hit to everybody. Which is annoying in a lot of cases, but there are times I kind of think there are times when it's fun, where it's like everyone's like checking out a game at once, but just how sparse it is, especially with the games, it's a little frustrating sometimes.
Yeah, especially just because Nintendo constantly does the whole drip feed thing, and it's
Yep.
every time it's always like, look, it's Mario 1. It's like, Nintendo, you've given us Mario 1 for like the 80th time. We're over it at this point.
There should just be some games like this should always be there. It shouldn't be a reveal.
At least with the NSO, Nintendo Classics, whatever, it seems like they've figured that out. Where it's like the games are here now. We're not going to redo it. Here you go. At least for now.
Yeah. God,
I mean, you can now play the fucking Virtual Boy if you're weird.
Mm-hmm.
Sure can.
Yeah, that was like that's an example of like, oh, now it's kind of cool. Like everyone is having a moment with that, or when they like added the mouse controls to some games, like the Mario Paint. It was like, oh, cool. Like everyone, like especially a lot of people, like a lot of our friends, like are slightly young, like they slightly too young for the SNES. So like for a lot of people, it was like a new thing. So it was like kind of fun that everyone had that moment all at once. But yeah, the drip feed is also very frustrating.
Well, what I like about Mario Paint was if you just have a Switch 1 like I do, you can plug a USB mouse in and it still works.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Which is very nice. So
that's
I'm just waiting for Mario and Wario. Okay.
Oh, that's not on there?
No, a Game Freak game developed by Game Freak, and it uses the SNES mouse.
Yeah, they should get all the mouse games you can on there.
Yeah, of course.
Nintendo just confuses me most days, but that's just their way.
Yes. Well, speaking of confusing, why don't we get into our game for this week?
Yeah. I'm about to go on a Nintendo rant, so let's cut off before I go somewhere.
While I can still talk, sort of. Let's get to
it. So for this week, we're talking about Lemmings, one of the most iconic video games from its era, I'd say.
It's so iconic, it came out on the Sega Game Gear.
And the PSP. Just keep that in mind.
The two most important consoles ever made, okay?
Hell yeah. So Lemmings is an interesting game. It was released in 1991, originally for the Amiga, and it has since been ported to basically everything. It's one of those games. Famously developed by DMA Design, who you may know nowadays as Rockstar North, the GTA studio. I always find that interesting.
Though I don't think any of the Housers were involved in this guy.
No, probably not. There's actually a lot of Psygnosis people, because Psygnosis was the publisher for this game. And if you don't know who Psygnosis is, Psygnosis was like one of those publishers who published a lot of like PC games back in the day. They were purchased by Sony early on in Sony's lifetime, and they were rebranded as Studio Liverpool for the longest time before Sony closed them, like Sony tends to do with studios. Going full circle there.
Yeah.
And they were most well known for doing the Wipeout series, but Lemmings was a game they published for a long time, and I always loved the Psygnosis logo, like the one with the owl that I think Roger Dean drew. Maybe, I don't know.
It looks like a Roger Dean thing. I mean,
it was drawn by Roger Dean.
It looks like if Roger Dean tried to draw the Fly By Night album cover. Rush ass.
Yeah.
I did think it looked like a prog band logo or something. It's
Roger Dean.
Yeah.
It fits. Did he win that lawsuit with James Cameron? Anyways,
I have no idea. So this version in particular was the 3DO version, I should say, was actually developed by Psygnosis, ported. And it shares a lot of its core with the CDI version, interestingly enough. They soundtracks. I know that. They're probably graphically different because the 3DO and the CDI have vastly different graphical capabilities.
True.
But let's be fair, Lemmings is Lemmings on every system. It is basically the same game.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I showed up my Game Gear copy. I played like the first couple levels, but I kind of stopped because the screen crunch on this guy is a nightmare. Like for Game Gear standards, it's pretty bad. And the controls were kind of funky because you only have like 3 buttons to work with. So I was like, okay, the 3DO is going to have the full screen, and I have like 6 or 7 buttons to deal with. Much easier. So I did actually play the 3DO version for once.
It looked like there were a couple fringe cases where it was like, oh, they just did what they could. But I thought it was cool. Like, it seemed like, looking at the different versions, that the 3DO might have the case for like the best port of it. Like, I thought it looked the nicest, and it looked the closest to the original, and better in some ways.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
I do think the port is very, very well done.
It definitely has the look right, because there's something about like the PlayStation version that just looks odd to me for whatever reason.
Is Lemmings a Sony IP?
Technically.
Huh.
Like,
they should have had Blue Point do a Prestige Lemmings remake. That would have been cool.
They did publish the PSP version.
Yeah, well, because it was published by Psygnosis, and then Sony bought them, so it's like, oh yeah. So Rockstar doesn't even own Lemmings.
No, it's technically a Sony IP.
Yeah.
If they even remember they own it. Let's be real.
Oh, there's no way they do.
So Lemmings is essentially a puzzle strategy game. I guess that's the best way to describe it. Thrak, how would you describe this game?
Well, Lemmings is based on the popular misconception of the lemming creature itself, that they just kind of roam in herds and just do what the fuck ever. Lemmings that they just kind of they'll just fall off a cliff and die because that's just what they do. And it's like, no, that's not what they do. Like that. Thanks, Disney, you ruined that shit. But be that as it may, the game is basically like there's a sideways door, heaven. I'm assuming the lemmings are cursed to leave heaven, but they have to re-enter if they can solve the puzzle. And the puzzle is just getting to the right bottom of the Egyptian door pyramid thingy. But there's multiple different ways to do it. Do you need to dig underground to get there? Do you have to dig through a wall? Do you have to climb? Do you have to use an umbrella? You have all these different options to get as many lemmings from point A to point B. Each level has various parameters where it just comes to like, you need to get this minimum percentage of lemmings there in order to proceed, right? And it gets harder as it goes along. I've found the puzzle design to be a little all over the place in that it starts out really easy, then it gets like crazy hard, but then it lightens up again. Like it doesn't have a smooth progression in difficulty as I think it could have had. Probably if you just move some of the levels around a little bit, it would make more sense, I think. But and once you kind of get over the learning curve of like how to get all of these different lemmings to do the things they need to do, what the rules are for certain abilities and things like that, once you get over that little bit of a learning curve, I found myself really liking this game. Like, it's one of those games that in my history of exploring, like, video games and like learning about a bunch of old stuff, Lemmings would come up frequently as like a classic old game, right? Which is interesting because I was never really like a PC guy. The Amiga, I think, was like a PC type deal. So, I actually never really played the game until this, really. So I was like, see what the big deal is. And I ended up really enjoying my time with it. I played it a lot more than I thought I would. Not as much as I would have liked to, but, things happen. But I did about 24 or so levels. And was like, I get it. I kind of get why people like this shit.
I definitely found it to be like one of those games that's like, it can get very stressful at times. Like if you're not prepared for these kind of games, because there are points where like, this is not a game to play while tired, I'd say, because sometimes I was trying to play this like late at night, like the first time I was playing it, I'm like I cannot deal with it. Like I felt like I was hurting like freaking like just at work, and like people were like just doing stupid shit all over the place. I'm like, it was driving me nuts. Like this game reminded me too much of my life sometimes.
It can be a little obtuse because you have all those little like icons down at the bottom of the screen, and some of them are self-explanatory where it's like the umbrella does the umbrella thing, but you'll have it's like where it's like you dig underground or you dig to the side or whatever, and you're like, and you're trying to be like, which one's which? Like sometimes I had trouble remembering which one did the thing, and then the parameters for them are different. Where there are some you do like, say the umbrella, you give them the umbrella, they just have it, and then they're done, right? Same with like climbing, you give them climb, they have it. Now, if you want them to dig through a wall, you have to wait till they're right against that fucking wall to do it. Otherwise, they just won't do it. Or if they're like doing the blocking, if you do it, they just immediately stop and then just block everything, which can be helpful and can be a pain in the fucking ass. Just again, depending on the level. So it just has all these, like the rules feel a little inconsistent at times. It's almost a game where you wish you just had like a printout of the manual and you could just like be like, oh, that does that, that does that. Let me kind of move this shit around. And if you fuck up, right, and you want to restart it, you kind of just have to let it play out and then try it again. You can't just, at least in the 3DO version, you can't just like quit it and just try it again. Like you have to speed up time or make everybody fucking blow up and kill themselves and then try it again.
Well, that's something that I think makes it fun, is like when you fail, I always feel like there's a satisfaction in just like blowing them all up.
Oh yeah, it's fun for sure.
It's so morbid, but it's like in like Little Big Planet, whenever you just get yourself stuck, the only way to escape is to blow up and try again.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It does have charm, despite the game being very simplistic in presentation. You know, like the little lemmings are just these little like green haired blue shirt dudes that you'd see them in like a newspaper comic. That's just kind of the look they have to me. And they're just walking around these like catacombs, you know, there's like fire and water, and it's like
the vibe is all over the place.
Like, how do you get into the situation, guys? Like, what are you doing?
We were wondering about that. I have nostalgia for this game. Actually, I wasn't a big PC player, but we did have a computer at home, and there were a handful of games I really got into. I played this, and then there was a sequel, Lemmings Revolution, I think it was, I had, which was like it was like 3D, and you're like,
oh, okay,
scrolling around like a 3D mountain or whatever they're climbing. It still basically played similarly in my head.
Is it like 2.5D type deal?
It's more like you're like scrolling around an object, you know. It's like they're walking on a flat surface, like around like a cylinder, and you're scrolling around. At least that's how I remember it.
That's
like I played it when I was like 11 years old, so I don't really remember it that well.
I'll say the little bit I see of it, I'm like, I feel like this would have been an N64 game.
I wish. No,
it has that vibe to it, doesn't it?
Oh,
it does. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm looking it up now. For some reason, I was mistaking this with 3D Lemmings, which is a 3D Lemmings game.
I thought that's what it was at first too. I was like, oh yeah, I played this game Lemmings 3D, and I looked it up. I'm like, I know, like, I misremember things from my childhood sometimes, but this doesn't look anything like I remember. And then I discovered there was this other game. I'm like, okay, this is it.
Who the fuck was responsible for the 3D Lemmings cover art? Jesus Christ!
Oh, the clip art.
It's
Clockwork Games.
There's a reason they don't have a Wikipedia page.
But I never questioned like what the deal was with what we were doing when I was younger, but we were trying to figure that out now. We're like, well, you know, a lot of times we go to the manual for the games we play to figure out what's actually going on. And we didn't get any answers, right, McKenna?
No.
But
I don't think it didn't really have any. It was just like, yeah, you got to get these guys from point A to point B.
Yeah, not even like a cheeky, like, don't worry about it. It was just literally like, we're not even to acknowledge it would be insane. From the
sky. Are they going to hell?
Yeah, there is a hell level. That is kind of fun.
There was one level we did that was just like everything is 6. And they just built the level out of like they made 666.
Yeah.
Did this game remind you guys of Worms a little bit?
Fun fact: the PSP version was developed by Team 7. So
yeah, like Worms is a completely different game, but it's just like the vibe felt a little similar.
So this is just a little fun thing I just discovered right now. I was about to make a joke about how I do have the manual right here. This manual is 100% in Spanish. There is no English manual.
You must have bought a Spanish language version.
Why?
No, but the game is English.
Maybe they sent you the wrong one.
Yeah.
So the packaging is in English and Spanish, but the manual is only in Spanish.
Well, that might be like a Mexican copy. Because the ESRB, I believe, rates games in Mexico too.
The game itself is in English when I play it, so I don't know.
Huh.
I don't know. I'm just guessing here.
No, it's a US copy because it says US.PlayStation on the back. Weird. I don't know.
Somebody must have just slipped that manual in and said it's complete. Charge more money.
Or maybe some PSP games did this. They would give you an English manual and then a separate Spanish manual rather than combine them together. So maybe the English one's just missing.
No.
See, I am not aware of the complexities of PSP collecting.
My copy of Crisis Core does that, so that's the only reason why I'm thinking that. But
I mean, that makes sense for Zach, you know.
I was going to make a joke about how the manual didn't really explain anything, but I couldn't understand it anyways. So that's,
I mean, maybe it does. Put it into Google Translate and find out.
I'll send it to Chris and see if he can help us out.
That would be funny.
It's a fun game though, playing them. Like there's just something about like even when you fail, like just going back into it and like trying to see if you can figure it out the second time.
I think what helps is that most of the puzzles are like very small. You know, like the map is not, it's not overwhelming. It's not crazy complicated. It's just like, oh, there's this thing in the way, you know, or it's like they have to get down without dying, you know, like you can kind of fill in like kind of common sense tropes. And then you just kind of use the abilities to figure it out. The one that took me more time to figure out than I'd care to admit is the one where you drop in and there's just that giant like wall or boulder or whatever that has arrows going this way. And I was just like, what the fuck do I do? I spent forever trying to be like, oh, we do the stairs. The stairs are a pain in the ass, by the way. I hate fucking stairs.
That's my go-to.
Oh, I hate it's like I would do the stairs because they weren't consistent. But anyway, like I would do that and then I would like umbrella as many guys down as I could, but I was never getting enough. And I was like, what the fuck? And then I looked it up and someone's like got a guy over to the other side to just dig through the hole. I was like, oh, you could do that? Okay.
Yeah.
I guess the arrow was preventing you from digging it the other way. Okay, sure. But, you know, it makes sense for later.
I do think initially, like in the, like there's a certain run of levels where I feel like it's a good tutorial because it is just like here, like the level is like one ability. It's the only thing you can use. So it really is just to like show you that you can do it and what it does. But then, then there's some things like that where there's not a good indication that you should do it. And we talked about like some of the levels, like the names are hints. We were
a few. I was reading the Wikipedia page, and I think one of the level designers would put hints in his level titles, but not all of them were hints.
Most of them were like, here's some stupid pun or parody name, which were funny, but it would be on levels like that where you have to like do a complicated thing. And it would be like, I could have used like at that level. They should have, I don't know what it's actually called, or maybe it is called this, but it should.
I honestly don't remember the names of the levels. I couldn't tell you a single one.
I do kind of enjoy the fact though that the option to like just like reset is literally just called nuke. You just nuke the Lemmings.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, that's very direct.
The vibe is the weird in this game. Like it's often like really cute, but then like also like here's some.
You gotta sacrifice some guys here, and they're just I got it.
I love the way the game separates the level difficulty too. They literally refer to the levels, the difficulties as fun, tricky, taxing, and mayhem.
Did you play through all of it?
Not for this playthrough, but I have.
Okay.
I've played all of them on this version, so probably not even the original. Well, this has apparently all the original levels, but they're in like a new engine.
So that's a complete remake of the game.
It's a remake that features all of the original levels plus, I believe, some originals, or unless they included ones from the expansion.
Yeah, I was gonna say they include that one. Which, by the way, I love the name for the expansion. Oh no, more Lemmings.
That's good.
So it contains all 120 levels from the original game, plus 36 brand new levels, as well as expansion pack support. And it had a level editor, and you could actually Little Big Planet it and like just download your levels online and play other people's levels.
That
like,
rocks.
That's cool. I like that.
It's
like, that's
cool.
a way you could bring like a more modern take on Lemmings, but they're not going to do that.
Unfortunately, that server no longer exists, so you can't do it anymore. But the level
because they actually did shut down the PSP servers.
They did. You
That's
can
the
still
one-
make
that's the-
levels, but you can't share them anymore, unfortunately.
You,
There are
no,
versions
you,
of
you
this
make
with
one and then
multiplayer.
you go up to your friend and be like, play this.
Yeah, it's like Mario Maker or something. And I think the design of this is it's actually kind of genius in its simplicity, where it is like once there is a bit of a learning curve with certain abilities, and some of the rules get a little too quirky with how certain things act, but the basic tools are like so simple to understand that it feels like why there's infinite possibilities with this.
And with the levels being, a smaller scale, and it's not like when you hop into a level, it's not like, oh man, I got like an hour time to figure out all these like weird crazy steps. It's like, no, you just here figure it out, kiddo. So if you fuck up, it's like, I can just try it again. Like the penalty for dying isn't really that severe.
Yeah. And usually if they die in like not just blowing them up, but like in other ways, like the animations of the characters are so charming that even when they're like drowning, it's like, oh my gosh, sorry buddy, but it's kind of funny.
I love how the Wikipedia page has like a little gif of like the walking animation of the little guys.
I love when you're trying to do like 100% like run, and you're like you got them all going perfectly, and then like you get to the end, you're like, it's like you're off by one. You're like, who did I miss? And you like look over, and there's just the one in the corner. You're like, damn it, Larry.
There was one where I could have had that happen as well, because there was one guy, I had given him climb, I guess, but I had figured out to where everybody was going through, and I was like, where the fuck's the last guy? And I see him like all the way at the top of this wall. I'm like, he's fucked. He's dead. Never.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
98%.
And the way we discovered it was hearing just like the splat off screen. I was like, what was that?
Or if there's water, you'll hear him splash into the water. It's like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Like for me, it was like I got to the end of one level, and they're all going in the portal. I'm like, I'm missing one, and all of a sudden I just see one like fall into fire. I'm like, oh, well, he didn't make it.
Hopefully, I didn't need that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love stuff like that. This game honestly kind of reminds me of like playing The Sims at times, where like you just leave them with like free will on, and you just kind of see what happens, and you just slowly like see them completely just devolve into chaos if you're not paying attention.
We had one of our friends watching was like, oh, so this is like Pikmin, and I was like, I guess I kind of see that.
It kind of is. Yeah.
I saw like online people mention like it being like almost a precursor to like real-time strategy games, which I don't fully see, but I kind of get the idea of just like telling your units to go do something, and I got to go over here and mess with this, hopefully they got it, like that sort of.
It definitely has a strategy vibe to it.
Yeah, because you do need to plan out what you're going to do, otherwise you will fail, especially in some of the later levels.
You can brute force your way through some of these levels, though.
Oh yeah, and yeah, like you can just dig whenever the fuck you want. It's great.
I had a few of like the mayhem levels where I just like rage quit and just like brute forced my way through it and somehow won. I was like, oh cool. I don't know how I did it, but sure.
Yeah, they would that goes along too with what you're saying about the difficulty curve, where sometimes the levels were designed with like a clear puzzle intention going on, and then other times like the 666 one, which is just like halfway through the tricky levels, a lot of them were more like starting to become brain burners for me. But then you get to that level and it's just like we just set everything to 666, so it's like you have 66 of everything and you don't really have to think about it. And I was like, oh, okay. So there's weird like ebbs and flows to the difficulty where if they just thought something was fun or funny, they'll just slip it in there. You know?
It's almost like they just put them in when they came up with the idea.
Yeah. They're building the bridge as they go. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like I would have some levels where like I'd be very dedicated to like making sure they all survive, and then I'd have other ones where I'm just like, all right, boys, half of you guys aren't gonna make it through this one. Good luck to you.
Some of y'all gonna die tonight.
You just have to accept it sometimes.
I think some of those ones they're getting smushed. And like some of them can make it through while others are being smushed.
Yeah, you're just like, it's more about minimizing.
Like, how many do I need to get through?
Yeah, should I worry about this? I'll let a couple of them get smushed. And you see, I love that animation where you kind of see their like inner stretch or whatever.
The worst is when they accidentally kill each other too, because sometimes they'll like push stuff into the holes and be like, "Uh-oh."
Oh yeah.
Just be like, "Oops."
Oh man.
Or sometimes I'll get like so wrapped up in like punching a hole through a wall or like building the steps that I'm not thinking about like, oh yeah, as soon as this connects, there's going to be a fountain of lemmings coming through. And they're actually going to walk over here and fall off the cliff. And I'm like so laser focused on the task that I hadn't considered the aftermath. And then it's immediately
a couple times
an explosion of violence. And you're like, oh no.
And then you just watch it happen. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, there was one level where I'm like, oh shit, is that too steep for them to fall? And no, it was fine. I was like, oh, thank God.
I've had them all walk to their doom before. And I'm just like, oh. That didn't work.
It's crazy how this game came out with 91, I think. Mm-hmm. And even nowadays, it still kind of maintains what makes the game good.
It's got a timeless gameplay to it.
Yeah, like it hasn't really aged. I mean, graphically maybe, but I don't think it looks bad by any means.
No, I think if this was released like as is, like a lot of people might not bat an eye like at the style because I think there's something to be appreciated about the simplicity of it. I think that was like a big point in the development, and because it was so simplistic, like such a small amount of pixels, they were able to like throw a lot on screen and like have a lot of chaos with it in a way that other games at the time like couldn't, or like not as many did. So I feel like in that regard, like if this was like a game up on Steam or whatever, like I think it would pass the smell test a little bit for a lot of people.
Yeah, I just looked. There is no version of it on Steam at all.
No, I had to get it a different way.
Probably because Sony owns it.
Let's see. Yeah, it's not even on GOG either.
McKenna,
so it has to be owned by It has to be owned by Sony then.
McKenna is usually scoping out, like you cover on your YouTube channel like a lot of indie games, and so you're usually scoping those out, and you found a game that is like inspired by Lemmings that looked kind of interesting.
Yeah, there's this game Craftlings that came out like a month ago. That's it's basically, it's got the they just go and you have to assign them roles, but it's got some other elements like there's some building and combat.
It's like you're building up they're walking around like an area that you kind of transform into a town, it looked like.
Yeah, but there's still like levels, so it's not just like straight city builder.
It looked kind of neat.
Interesting.
Though. Yeah.
We didn't play it, but it looked neat.
Yeah, I'm interested in checking it out.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, I see it. Like the little guys walking around do look very much like Lemmings.
Glad someone's thinking about Lemmings.
Sony could just put that on the PSN store and it would probably sell.
Yeah, they could just like whatever remake version, just throw it on there and be like, sure, why not?
Put this on there. It's literally right there.
Yeah, put that on the PlayStation Plus Royale with cheese or whatever it's called. I don't know.
Yeah,
This is something it would be nice if there was a Super Nintendo version. I feel like that might have had mouse. Might have had mouse compatibility?
I doubt it.
No, okay.
I doubt
Well,
it.
I did watch some gameplay of it, and it's an interesting thing where this is the Nintendo fan in me, but I'm not that nostalgic for Super Nintendo, but there were a lot of games that I've played that were ports of other things from that time that get kind of like a specific vibe to me, like a specific nostalgic vibe to it because of the Super Nintendo, like the 16-bit style and like that music and stuff, and the Lemmings has that charm to it.
Yeah, it was made by Sunsoft for some reason, which is an interesting choice.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it probably doesn't hit that like SNES Sim City kind of quality to it, but it's probably not a bad
I can't
version.
imagine. But it just like the looking at it, I was like, oh, this looks really cute.
Oh yeah,
it reminded me of Bubble Bobble. The port of that has like just in that it's like, oh, this has a like very particular Super Nintendo vibe to it. Like I said, that's just the Nintendo fan in me, maybe, but I find it charming.
Speaking of music, what do you guys think of the OST for this game?
Well, emulating this on 4DO, the music sounded like ass, so I just turned it down. I think it might have been an emulation issue. Like I just wasn't getting the music properly.
Because we played the DOS version, but I went and I listened to the 3DO soundtrack, and that's one way where I think it was superior because it had like nicer whatever samples and stuff they could use. But
the first level is straight up the can.
There's a lot of just like public domain vibe songs in there for sure.
It reminds me a little bit of Return Fire.
A little. The soundtrack was composed by a man named Tim Wright, or Cold Storage apparently is his professional name.
Cold Storage. That's an awesome name.
According to Wikipedia. He does not have the most flattering Wikipedia photo, but that's besides the point. He most famously is known for he did the soundtrack to Wipeout 2097. He also did like Colony Wars, basically all the Psygnosis games.
Yeah, he worked on
that banging soundtracks.
He worked on Pugsy. What a good guy.
Oh hell yeah. He did the PlayStation 4 system menu. How about that?
Oh God. Yeah, that droning ambient thing. Yeah. I know that. He apparently worked on Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing.
Good for him.
Good for him.
I did enjoy the soundtrack for what it was. It had some catchy bops to it. The PSP version was actually composed by Tim Fallon, the guy who did Pictionary on NES. One of his last soundtracks, apparently. It's pretty good. It's mostly original work because he didn't ever do. He always would make just original soundtracks to everything he did. But there are a few songs from the original game, and he did fairly good compositions of it. Of course, the can's in here because it has to be. I liked it, though. It fit the vibe of the game.
Is the can their theme song or something?
It's the first level track, so it just kind of is a thing that people know about.
It just became it, yeah.
Yeah.
We played it for a long time, and
it's a long game.
We did not get sick of the music, I don't think.
No, it changed it up enough. Like the
levels themselves would swap music sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes if we were on a level for a long time, I'd be like, all right, I'm ready to listen to some other music.
See, the funny part would be when you found a song that you really liked, but it was on a level that was super easy. So you'd like hear like the first opening part, and then the level just immediately end, and you'd be like, "Oh, okay."
I could have vibed with that some more. Yeah, no, the music I didn't grow tired of it, and I feel like they did a good job with that.
So looking at some of the reviews for the game, I do like to look at the 3DO reviews, particularly just to see what people had to say about this game / port, because the game is universally beloved. Most reviews are fairly solid.
Yeah, apparently it sold over 20 million copies between all of its various ports. So just pretty good,
Well,
especially in those days.
Looking for specifically 3DO reviews. The only one that's immediately notable is Next Generation gave it a 4 out of 5.
I mean, this is a next generation video game on a next generation video game console.
Hey, that was Time Magazine's product of the year.
Yes, it was.
But Video Games Germany gave it an 81. And the only other 3DO review I could find was Retro Archives. I can't speak.
Archives? Are you okay?
No.
Are you getting sick too?
Only in the head. Anyways.
We're already there, buddy. We're already there.
It gave it a 90%. So reviews were pretty good. This is one of those games that you couldn't even screw up on 3DO, because we have seen in the past some ports for 3DO are not the best.
No.
But this game they did a good job.
I mean, I think why, I mean, the game is so simple. I think that's why it's had so many ports. You know, it's almost like Pac-Man. It's like, how do you fuck up putting this on everything, you know?
Well, that's Atari.
Yeah, where's the Atari 26 version of Lemmings?
I'm surprised that doesn't exist, to be perfectly honest.
Well, there's the Atari ST version. So it's the closest we got.
This does feel like one that could be an easy win for the 3DO over the other ones, because like you said, the game is so simple that if it can like at least just maintain that gameplay but make everything look a little bit nicer, a little bit fancier, more high quality, that a CD based console could only do at that time, like I feel like it's an easy like W for the 3DO.
Like looking at all these various ports, the one that I feel would be actually bad is the original Game Boy version.
Yeah,
I could not imagine playing this game in black and white, because I feel having that color contrast, it's very simple colors, but having that there really helps. And I think with the Game Boy screen crunch and then no color at all, and then no backlight back in the day, I feel like this would just, you know, you might as well just throw your Game Boy against the wall.
I want to play this on the Acorn Archimedes.
Yeah, or the CD,
whatever that is,
or the Amiga CD32.
At least I know what that thing is. I have no idea what the Acorn Archimedes is.
Isn't that a tree?
No, it's an English computer.
Of course it is.
That makes sense. No offense.
God, all these weird fuckers just making games.
I think that I saw the NES version is a little wonky, and I specifically I think the Lemmings, like some of them gray out once enough are on like one line, and they're actually like, I think we watched some video where it said like they were technically part of like the background or something. I don't know.
They're probably in like the background layer, which is how they're able to get so many of them or something like that. Some technical mumbo jumbo that only weird fucks care about.
It looked really weird. Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard the NES version of Lemmings is a little iffy. Apparently it was done by Oceansoft, which probably explains why it's not great.
See, I love old games like this, because you look at some of the systems it got ported to, and it's like what is the SAM coupe? Like, what is that? The Amstrad C.
Welcome to the SAM coupe experience, everybody. I hope you're ready.
The X6800,000.
Some British person is slamming their desk right now.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, some bald British guy in his 50s being like, "You don't know this, bruv." Awful. Well, wasn't the X6800? Didn't the original Metal Gear release on that?
That was the MSX2. That was what that was.
Oh, the Japanese only one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was in Japan, so everybody knows and loves it.
One of like the million of like computers there were back then before everything just became a PC or a Mac.
Yeah. I mean, this game is crazy when it's getting ported to Mac in the 90s. Like that. That's saying something there.
I think the Mac version was kind of busted.
Well, I could have told you that, and I've never even seen it.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure.
Interestingly,
playing games on a Mac back then, no. Don't do it.
Amusingly, the newest port of this game, this particular version, is actually the J2ME phone port in 2005.
Okay, that might be the worst version. That has to be.
I always forget about those like weird phone games back in the day, like that weird Sonic Unleashed port,
or those like original God of War games.
Oh yeah,
yeah. There's a whole lineage of weird Java games, but we're not getting into that.
Why is there no phone Lemmings now? Like now,
honestly, honestly.
Because Sony hasn't remembered they own it. That's my only theory.
Phone Lemmings?
Well, they're too busy. They're too busy porting Last of Us again.
Sure. Sure. Yeah, I'm amazed there actually isn't a phone Lemmings. That would make sense.
There is. Lemmings. I don't think it's official. It's called Lemmings Puzzle Survival.
Oh.
Huh.
It's probably like it. Yeah, it looks like a fake mobile thing, but I mean, somebody tried.
I gotta give them props.
It's probably got like microtransactions and like ads and shit.
You have to buy the Lemmings.
Yeah, the Lemmings are free. You have to buy the items. You can't use stairs.
There was literally a screenshot. It was like, put them in like costumes. I'm like, they're this big on the screen. What do I care what they're wearing?
McKenna's got a great review here. What's it say?
Pay to win and glitchy.
So there
Genuinely
you go.
The most capitalist hellscape game I've ever played.
Welcome to mobile. Welcome to mobile gaming.
See, this is how you know Sony owns it and not Nintendo, because Sony is probably not even aware that exists. Nintendo would be nuking that out of existence as soon as they found it.
Rough.
Any other closing thoughts before we do our must play okay stay away?
Just one other thing with the overcomplicated rules that Thrak was talking about, because we played all of the easy levels, whatever it's called, and then like halfway through tricky, and that's where things started to get interesting. And I really appreciated a lot of the level designs, but yeah, I was like, oh, if this is like, my brain is not braining right now, and we and we're like, okay, let's put in level codes and look at the last level and some later levels just to see what type of hellscape those are.
Yeah.
But the where it really got tricky was, it's like you can do things like some abilities if you're like there's like a level where you have to like turn a lemming around, but you don't have a blocker. So it's like you have to dig, and then when they dig just a little bit, you then have to have them build. And when they build to the wall of the tiny little pit they made, they'll then turn around. And so you can like, it's like canceling. You have to like use a move to cancel another move they're doing, so that they will then do a third thing that you actually want them to do. But that was like too abstract for me, where I was like, I have to stop.
Yeah, I can't. No, thank you.
Considering one of the level difficulties is literally called taxing, that makes perfect sense.
No, that's mayhem. That has to be mayhem.
Well, the mayhem to me seems like it's just insanity. Like, just there's
a million lemmings. Get them all there without dying.
Like when they add like multiple portholes.
Yeah, that last one.
Where it's like meet in the middle.
They're just like on opposite ends, and like the one end they immediately just walk off. So you have to get all the way over there, stop them.
That was the most like real time strategy moment.
The heck you're supposed to be doing?
Where like someone's invading your town, but you also like have your armies over here, and you're like,
that's like setting up the start portal right over lava. It's just like, have fun figuring this one out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's that one where they just fall, like they immediately die. Like the portal is high enough above the platform that you have to give them the umbrella to start.
Yeah, when that starts happening, and then like the ones who do come down start going towards like the next obstacle, and it's like it feels like you're bouncing all these plates, and it's too chaotic.
That's like right up there with the final boss of like Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, where starts you out with 1 hit point, and depending on your speed, you're either going to go first or not. It's just like, oh no.
Fuck that
Good luck.
boss.
Yeah. And it's like the second part of the boss too, which makes it even
Oh God.
Sorry, one final thing I wanted to throw in too. I like that there was like a change of pace, and I like that some levels were more like, instead of a puzzle, like a physical challenge. Like there's one where it's just like a long bar and you have to have them dig down to survive the fall. Otherwise, if they walk off the edge, it'll be too high. But you have to like make sure you give them enough space to do it.
Yeah.
And then there's other levels where it's just like, oh, you have 2 lemmings and you have to like guide them through the end and not lose either of them. And it's more of a like an action game at that point. Than a puzzle game.
Like it's a concept that has such, it feels like almost limitless possibilities, you know, that just the few games we have, like the original and then the sequels, they probably didn't even scratch the surface, you know? Like I'm sure there's a lot of other really cool ideas, or at least even take those original ideas and give them a fresh audience, you know?
Yeah, come on.
That's the one thing about this game that's really impressive, is the fact that it doesn't get repetitive. It is like massively creative. Like every level tries to do different things in like different creative ways. And you don't see that in games nowadays.
It's very inspired.
Like they were definitely like DMA. You could see DMA was going to do great things in the future.
Yeah, you could make the argument that this game is why we're still waiting for GTA 6. You can draw a line of lemmings.
The domino meme.
So we had mentioned earlier, if any of the people that worked on this were involved with GTA, the game's designer David Jones was also the designer of the original Grand Theft Auto, or he's one of them. He was He was involved somewhere in that game.
Yeah, I mean that game also has tiny little characters on the screen too. They're just doing different things.
The Grand Theft Auto 1 has a designated fart button.
Yes, it does. And that game is massive, by the way. I don't know if you've ever tried to play the original GTA.
When I was a child, that was the only Grand Theft Auto I was allowed to play, because I wasn't allowed to play 3, that's for sure.
Yeah, you play the original GTA 1, you're like, you see where it started, but you're like, this needs some refinement. Yeah. I will say GTA 2, not bad. Not a bad game.
The DS one's pretty good too.
They should add farting to Lemmings. That would be a good ability.
I'm amazed that if they made it now, that would definitely be a thing, probably.
Oh yeah. I hope GTA 6 has a fart button. That's why we've been waiting so long.
We haven't gotten it right yet.
Yeah. Apparently, the game's programmer was also a programmer on the original GTA. So some of these guys did make it all the way to Grand Theft Auto.
Well, apparently what's crazy is, David Jones also was involved in like the Crackdown series.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's listed on his. Yeah, like he also worked on like Body Harvest, Space Station Silicon Valley. Crackdowns 1 and 3. We went from Lemmings to Crackdown 3. I don't know how we got here.
And he worked on Tank Ticks, which the cover art was not what I was
That sounds like a slur. I don't want to say it.
The cover art is a sheep surrounded by tanks, so that's not what I was expecting in the slightest.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. I guess now we could do our must play, okay, stay away on the segment where we rank the game, but based off our very obtuse rating system that we don't follow at all.
No, we follow it.
Time. I'm gonna say we follow for the most part, but we also take massive liberties sometimes with our choices.
Well, yeah, but who cares?
Because I'm pretty sure I voted one game the poop emoji at one point. So
yeah.
No,
it makes just as much sense as like the numbers people put on games anyway.
Exactly.
I think you might like this better. Actually, we do ranking on our like Patreon of the games. We keep it there because we're like, we don't want people to get obsessed with the numbers. But McKenna doesn't like putting numbers on the games as much. So we should have adopted. We should totally just redo it all and do this.
I think it's every like 50 episodes we do like a tier listing, and I feel like tier ranking the games makes a lot more sense. Where it's like, what kind of grade level is this? I feel like that's easier to parse than putting a direct number on it.
Yeah.
Like I can't imagine how people say like this game's a 73%, but this game's a 74%.
You're right.
Like, how do you know that when it's like, no, that's about a C tier. It's like a C quality kind of a game.
Like just for example, the last game we played, which was not a game, but that's besides the point. We ranked
it was propaganda.
It was something. I ranked it as a don't bother, and Thrak ranked it as a it sucks. So
my official review on Backlogged. So go to Backlog and follow me on there, everybody.
I will say like we leave it pretty open. Like the funniest one we have is when we did Sarge's Heroes. Jiggy from Remember 64 rated the game an M out of Z. What that means, I don't know, but I put it on the ranking sheet.
I love that.
Yeah. So we have a very, very free rating system, I guess you could say. But I'm going to say Lemmings is a must play.
I am going to agree. It feels like this is like the first definitive must play we've had in a long time.
I can go back and find out when the last one was.
Like we've played some fucking crap on this show. Like Jesus Christ. So to play a game like this, which play a game like this, which is, could be a little obtuse in certain points, but like it has its own charm, it has its own vibe. It's clearly made a mark in the gaming industry directly and indirectly. And you play it even with like a modern sensibility, and you're like, yeah, this game's it's still entertaining. It's still challenging. It's fun. It still achieves all the goals that it set out to achieve back in like 1990 or 91. And that's, I think, hard to say, especially for a lot of games from this era, especially like PC games. Like PC games from this era, most of them are just terrible. So to see this guy actually like stand out and still be a viable game, even now, I think is really telling of how like ingenious the concept of this game is.
Yeah, I think that's really well said. I agree with everything you just said. For me, it would be a must play as well. How about you?
Yeah, I agree. Must play. It's it's simple, but it can get really complex, and it's always fun. Simple but intelligent. Definitely must play.
Very timeless game too. Like this is one that you could pick up. Like literally picking this up, I didn't even need the instructions. I forced my way through it, but I figured it out after a while.
I feel like if this was back in the day when this game was recent, and it was like the one of like 2 or 3 games you had, you'd be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like this. I mean, I think How Long to Beat has this at like 20 some hours. That's, I guess, if you brute force the whole thing, and I'm like, there's no way I'd beat this game in 20 hours. It would take me at least twice that. But I feel like you would get your money's worth out of it. And I could imagine some sicko coming home from his like office job, booting up his fucking PC and then playing this all night and just having a hell of a time. That dude is living the high life. And now he's probably dead.
R.I.P. buddy.
I can see this being the job, like the game that you have on your work computer and you play when the boss isn't looking. Just because.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's like borderline idle game too. Like maybe very like microscopic embryonic stages of an idle game.
It's like the 3D space pinball. It's just that game that everyone played on PC at one point.
Yeah. Oh, put so much time into that.
I do love that game.
This is a little off the 3DO bounds of it, but playing the DOS version, I was nostalgic for that specific experience because when I was young, we had like a PC with DOS, but it was a little bit later. Like we didn't have like a ton of money, but there was like this little sliver of my life where I played games on DOS, but not for long because it was already old by the time I had it. And this, like, just bringing it up in the DOS box or whatever and seeing that there was something nostalgic where I remembered that, like, I used to have to like type in like a command to my computer to play Wolfenstein, and it felt like magic where I was like, I had to like enter a spell into my computer to make the shooty game come up, so that was a fun bit of nostalgia.
That reminds me of my childhood computer that just had Myst and Alone in the Dark on it for some reason.
You're set there.
I'm pretty sure my child saw the opening cutscene to Alone in the Dark and noped out at that right away.
My first attempt at PC gaming was on like a 2001 Gateway, which is why I'm not a PC gamer.
Gateway,
it was rough, but I tried. I killed that thing trying to play games on it.
It's like when trying to play Sims 2 on that thing back in the day, just like it was not doing well.
Yeah.
I think that's what I had. I was mostly playing Age of Empires 2. And you were doing Flash games.
Yeah, I played a lot of Flash games.
That was your PC gaming.
Yeah.
I played
a lot of my PC gaming is Flash
games.
gaming as well.
Yeah.
Flash games in like the middle school, like study hall room.
Yeah.
I loved aplusmath.com back at study lab.
Good times. Good times.
And just to answer that little question we had earlier, our last double must play was Crime Patrol. Say no to drugs.
And that was kind of an ironic must play because that game.
That game's great.
That game's amazing.
For
yeah,
reasons.
but for completely different reasons to this.
Yes.
I've never heard of that one.
Oh,
have you ever heard of American Laser Games?
Yes.
Oh man.
Why? Oh, because they did like FMV games, right?
Oh yes.
They did the best FMV games.
The Mad Dog
McCree
trilogy.
Yeah.
Yes. Fucking ace, brother.
Like
so
The Last
good.
Bounty Hunter is like one of the best FMV games ever made.
It's one of the funniest games I've ever played.
Crime Patrol is just as good, but you play it because of how absurd the game's cutscenes are. Like
okay,
the tongue is firmly in cheek the entire time.
The moment we always joke from that game that we always reference is there's just a scene in the middle of the game where like the chief that you're working with literally just pulls out a bag of cocaine out of the back of a car and just says, "Say no to drugs," and then just blows it up with an Uzi. And then just moves on. Just moves on from it.
I gotta see this. Yeah,
I'll find the clip and send
good.
it and put it in the chat.
It is so good. Oh my god,
one of the funniest.
It's that kind of like intentionally cheesy, corny shit that just isn't made anymore because everyone's too hip for that. You know,
like The Last Bounty Hunter. I'll never forget. I'll never forget the guy who falls into the porter john. It explodes and then he pops out and goes, "That was a big one."
It was like that guy at the bathroom.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was a callback thing that I can't remember that well.
Oh boy, but yeah. Thank you though, guys, for joining us for this. This was a fun episode.
Yes, thank you. Sorry, I wasn't in the best of condition. Hopefully, I didn't radiate my sickness through the internet to you.
No, you come off great. Seem professional. No, it was a lot of fun.
Put down my like work report. Seems professional.
It was
genuinely. They knew.
It was really good to talk to you guys, and like also just the experience of revisiting this game was a lot of fun. And I knew this would be one that like I was excited to show you because I don't think you knew it at all.
Yeah.
So, but I knew you would be into it.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
Thanks for allowing us to come on here.
Well, thanks for joining us. And,
you're welcome back anytime.
Before we sign out, would you guys like to plug your show?
Yeah. So our show, it's Flashback 64. It's we're chronologically going through the Nintendo 64 library, the North American releases. Although we did just release Wonder Project J2 episode, a Japanese exclusive, but we've been going along chronologically. We do 2 episodes a month right now, and it's fun. We talk about some of the pop culture stuff that was going on at the time of the game's release, like what were the number 1 songs or the number 1 movie that weekend at the box office, or we'll talk about like some of the little bits of news that were going on. But then we mostly, the bulk of the episode is just talking about the games, and it's been fun to kind of go through the console. And then in like the in-between weeks, we talk about other stuff from the time, like PS1 games or maybe a movie or whatever. It's just kind of an excuse to kind of hang out in that time period and be a little nostalgic, a little historical, mix of everything. So
talk about Yoshi's Island.
Yeah, we had Thrak on for Yoshi's Island. We got you in our system for. I've got a whole spreadsheet of games of guests to call upon. I got you in, so we'll for sure have.
I forget which ones was it. Was it like wrestling games and like game show games or whatever? I forget.
And you really oh yeah, we had were you on our what episode was it? You were on. Was it just the Yoshi's Island?
I've only been on Yoshi's Island.
You gave us all the. You said put me down for any NFL game.
Oh yeah, any sports ball game, of course.
But yeah, I'd have to pull it up and see. But
that's okay.
For sure, happy to have you back on. And Bill, we've only just met, but open invite to you as well. On the air, I'll tell you. Just send me a list of N64 games, any or all that you're interested in. And
I know the one he wants.
What's that?
Oh, have you done Rocket Robot on Wheels yet?
I've never even heard of that game. So
okay,
he's your guy. He is your guy for that.
Sick. I'll put you in for that, but send me more because I like to have. This is a peek behind the curtain for your listeners, but I just have like a spreadsheet where it's like, what game is next? Who said they'd be into it? Okay, they're down. Let's get it. Like I'm looking for who's the experts, you know. So if
that's literally what we do with 3D.
Yeah.
But it's not experts. It's just like, if you want to play this game, sure.
Yeah. I will say, I don't know if you've covered it yet or not, but one other game that I'm partial to is a game called Top Gear Overdrive. It's a racing game.
We haven't. We've played Top Gear Rally.
Okay, Overdrive is amazing because it is a racing game where you not only play as a bunch of awesome cars, but you can also play as a hot dog or a taco.
That I'm sold. That's all I need.
Or the N64 logo. But yeah, it's a fun racer.
Well, yeah, we would love to have you on. So we'll talk more for sure. But yeah,
no worries.
Flashback64.com is where you can find like all our stuff. We got to in the podcast, YouTube, Twitch. You know, we're doing all of that stuff. So
perfect, and I'll be sure to put that in the description for the episode. And with that, everybody, once again, thank you for joining us on the 3DO Experience. You can find the 3DO Experience on all the major podcasting platforms. And be sure to check us out over on the Superpod Network. That is superpodnetwork.com. Awesome site with a whole bunch of different videos, podcasts, blogs, all sorts of awesome creators over there. We're currently in the process of pretty soon going to be doing some GBA-themed blogs on our favorite GBA games. So be sure to check that out. I believe me and Thrak are participating in that.
Yes, as I had mentioned, I'm playing through Drill Dozer for that blog. So
you're playing a real game, and I'm playing The Sims Busting Out. So
that's a real game too.
It's the least Sims game you'll ever play because it's like an RPG for some reason, but it's great. But yeah, be sure to check those out. And with that, everybody, once again, thank you for joining us, and we will see you all later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
If you're not playing on a 3DO system, what are you playing with?